Since my video about the script leak regarding Snoke telling Luke about how he created his father, Anakin, I've received countless emails asking me to do a fan fiction series. So that's what I'm going to do for you all in this video. I really like that you all enjoyed my reenactment and narration of the story I found, and I will do that for you here in this fanfiction episode of Star Wars Theory. Just don't laugh too hard at my impersonations, okay? Some are just really hard to do. Alright, so we're going to think of what would have happened if Vader came across Snoke at some point in the Star Wars timeline. I'm going to tie it into the idea that, Vader was in the Pacta tank in the Rogue One trailer as a result of this made-up fight, post this fight. So without further ado, our story begins.
Lord Vader, I have felt it. You must track down the identity of this threat in order to see if its true intentions. If it is to be turned to our will, do it. If not, do what must be done.
Yes, Master.
Vader bowed to the hologram of his master as he set course on his ship, looking into the distance of the cosmos. He knew something was wrong. This presence was dark, but he could not make out exactly what it was. It was very powerful. It has to be investigated. The ship sped through the galaxy until it came to a slow stop in front of a dark green planet, what seemed to be covered in trees and dense forest. He set course for a landing point where he felt the presence reside close. He sat in his throne and meditated as the ship began to descend into the stormy planet. As the ship's feet lowered, he could feel the presence was strong with the Force, and that it was nearby, closer than he suspected. He opened the door of his vessel and walked down the slope, his cape whipping in the thunderous winds and stormy weather the planet threw in all directions. Apart from the swaying of trees, nothing could be heard other than Vader's ominous respirator echoing in the wind. The land was covered with shrubs and mountainous trees as Vader scanned his surroundings, always being mindful. He could feel something to his left, a thick, heavy feeling such as that of a magnet attracting another and getting closer with each second. Vader ignited his lightsaber and turned to face whatever would emerge out of the bushes. An Ewok, running towards Vader with a spear in one hand and rocks in the other. Vader raised his left arm with his palm outstretched to the vicious creature, lifting it 10 feet in the air and slamming it into a tree far away. He could hear its bones shattering like a thin glass hitting a marble floor. The presence still lingered. It loomed over the area like a thick fog, making it almost hard for Vader to breathe.
Come out of hiding. I can feel you near.
Vader's head swiftly turned right so fast his robotic limbs didn't have time to move with his gaze. He was frozen, unable to move. He couldn't even breathe. All he could see was a tall, slender figure approaching from the trees in front of him.
How is he doing this? I am the most powerful being in the galaxy,
Vader said to himself. The man was taller than he was. Even with his prosthetic limbs and boots, he was at least several heads taller, but a third of his height in width. That's when he spoke. Vader had never heard such a voice in his life. As Anakin, or in his new form, he had never felt such a deathly and powerful presence.
Anakin, the galaxy has heard about you, the all-powerful Darth Vader. You must be having a hard time breathing. Let me help you with that.
Vader felt his chest relax and his respirator come back online, but he was still unable to move a muscle or mechanical gear in his body.
Don't try to speak, my boy. I'm sure you have many questions for me, don't you? Look at you, the prophecy, the chosen one, unable to move, helpless. Oh, if he could see you now, I'm sure Sidious holds you in such high regards. Too bad he isn't here to see you useless.
Vader, albeit being paralyzed, was still able to think.
How does he know my real name? How does he know my master? I must move. This can't be.
Let me start by saying, I I've waited many years to finally see you with my own eyes. Tell me, has your master ever spoken of the one who made him who he is?
No, he can't be.
Vader thought to himself.
The Emperor killed his master years ago in his sleep.
There's little point dragging this out, as I'm going to end you just like how you were created. Then I'll go into your ship and pay my arrogant apprentice a visit to give him one last chance to finish what he so foolishly started. I am the all-wise Darth Plagueis. Did you ever hear about the tale of a boy who was created without a father? A boy so enriched with the Force that the surrogate was conceived by manipulation of the Force. Your mother was as stupid as the Sand People who killed her. It's a wonder you were even born.
Vader felt anger. He had not felt anger like this since he was on Mustafar and saw Padme bring Obi-Wan to kill him. He could feel hot, thick, invisible smoke ooze from every inch of his body. Plagueis continued.
It's too bad my apprentice wasn't smart enough to you to learn my teachings. He could have helped you save Padme from the death that you caused her. Or perhaps you were too weak and killed her yourself.
Snoke's face burst into flames. Vader's helmet melted off his chin, revealing Anakin's scarred and deformed features from Mustafar's battle.
Ah! Stop! How?
Screamed Plagueis as he fell to the floor, burying his burning face into his large hands. Vader was free to move. He walked up to Plagueis, who was laying there disfigured and deformed, looking up at Vader in shock as he mumbled.
How? I created you. How?
Vader's lightsaber flew to his hand from where he dropped it earlier, and he ignited it, ready to strike with the most hateful rage he had ever felt in his life, as it bubbled with each breath. Snoke knew he must do something. His amazing arm length allowed for him to grab Vader's left arm, sending a sensation through Vader he had not felt before, a tingling yet ice-numbing pain, as if his very cybernetics were being seized. Again, Vader was unable to move, but his right arm was still inching closer to Plagueis' face, his absolute blind rage determined to command his mind and his body. The red saber now burning into the flesh of the tall ancient Sith Lord as he shrieked with pain. Vader moved his left hand over Plagueis' grasp on him and used the Force to break all of the bones in his arm, like it were dry breadsticks. Plagueis collapsed in pain, unconscious, not even making a sound. Hesitant to make any mistakes with the power of this new enemy, Vader lifted the body of the tall Plagueis and hoisted him over his shoulder, his cybernetics proving to be unbelievably powerful in this movement. He walked to the ship, opening the door by hitting the switch. He walked up the ramp to place Plagueis inside and take him back to the Emperor. As he turned around to set course for the Star Destroyer ship, he heard broken glass. Whatever had happened so fast that he was looking at his ship from the outside of it, now covered in his own blood. His suit absolutely destroyed at this point. While he still tried to sustain his breathing with the Force, he moved as quickly as he could to the front of the ship, only to see Plagueis gone and the rustling of trees behind him. The presence had lifted. He had no strength to go on a hunt for him. He would return to his master to tell him of his findings and heal in the Bacta tank. He staggered up the ship, pushed the door closed, and flew off at hyperspeed into the darkness of the galaxy. I hope you all enjoyed this made-up fanfiction. It was pretty fun writing it. If you want me to do more, leave a thumbs up and I will. Again, this was all by the request from you guys, and it was a lot of fun. So, thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting me. It means a lot. If you guys want to join my Facebook page, feel free. Links in the description for any of you that care. And as always, my friends, I'll see you in the next video. And remember,
the Force will be with you, always.